When they approached you with this film, what was it? I mean, did you look at the script and you're like, yes, I'm going to do this, or was it one of those things where like, damn, I'm going to have to do animation and also like, you know?
Well, actually, I read the script and I begged them for it. I went to them and said, hey, I understand how to make this movie. This kind of movie lives in my blood. You got to let me have it. And I begged them for 5 years to give this to me. I think that the movie was a different kind of movie when they were developing it during that period. It was much darker. And they came to their senses. And here we are today. So, awesome. But yeah, to be quite honest with you, I really wanted to do it, but at the same time I was really frightened of it. Because tonally, it's a hard movie to grab a hold of. And I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how much parody, how cynical, how much loving homage, you know, how much romantic comedy versus musical. And I just kept going back to those classic Disney movies. And I said, you know what, these movies, you know, they just go through my veins. And I'll just have to believe that there'll be a place in the world for a movie like this.
It is kind of interesting because here is a movie where it's almost, it is poking a little bit fun of the genre, but it's released by the company that created the genre, you know? Yeah, what is it about the conversations that you had with the producers and maybe the screenwriters that to kind of like pull things back or maybe even push it forward to be more, I don't know.
Well, it was really about the level of homage. How much homage do we do? And then how much parody? How much do we make fun of? And it was really my idea. I came in and said, you know what, I want this to be a love letter to Disney. And I think there's, you know, Shrek already exists in the world. I think there's a different way to make this movie. And I went to them with that idea. Let's make it in this way. And honestly, there was a little bit of fear in making the movie. Would it work? The whole time we were making it. And not until we put it together was the studio secure, and even me, was I secure with the idea or the level at which everything was playing.
Getting Amy to kind of be the centerpiece of it, she got the tone perfectly, and so
she's brilliant.
What is it kind of like? What kind of meetings did you have with her, or did she come ready and be like, I'm?
Honestly, she came ready. She came fully formed in a sense. I saw 300 girls, and I told the studio I wasn't sure we were going to be able to make this movie because I hadn't found a Giselle. And then she walked into the room, and not only does she look like a Disney character, she has round eyes and fair skin, but she understood how to play the character without making fun of it. And that was really important. The honesty of the character was really important to me. We talked about how to physicalize the character, and she was a ballet dancer, so she understood that immediately. And then we also had lots of conversations about the arc of the character and how the character, and I think this is the soul of the movie really, is how the character moves from being two-dimensional to being three-dimensional, both physically and emotionally. And she's just such a consummate actress. She understood exactly the arc of the character, and she could hold on to it. She could hold on to it as we shot it all out of order. So it was really the only choice we had. And it was a brilliant choice.
Halfway through, she got nominated for an Oscar.
I know. How great was that?
That's awesome.
That was great.
I mean, what was the kind of celebration like on set, or is it just like, congratulations, okay, let's shoot the scene now?
No. We were thrilled. We were thrilled, and we all went out to congratulate her. And no, it was really an honor to be working with someone like that.
There's a lot of mutual adoration among the actors and stuff. Like Amy was psyched that Adina was in the building.
Yeah.
And she was like, she got fan all of a sudden, like her eyes just like lit up.
Yeah.
To kind of have these different people who are very successful in their own you know, areas. What was it like to kind of bring them together and kind of see how, you know,
how they would all rub off each other? You know, it's interesting because they all come with different sets of technique. You know, Adina has a really heavy, you know, stage theatrical technique. So bringing her into the movie and having her play a real woman was sort of interesting, and how all the actors really who played real world characters wanted to play up to the theatrical side that the animators were carrying on. And I had to like constantly, especially with Patrick, I think I really frustrated him because I kept telling him, pull it back, make it real. You can't play at the same tone as Amy. And he'd get like, so, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And it was because these tones are all moving through the movie. But it was great fun for them all to get together and play, really, you know?
What was it like to work on the animated section of this film? Because that is the first, I'm going to say the 10 minutes or, you know. To kind of, were you familiar with animation prior? And was,
well, I grew up in animation, so, and I directed Tarzan, so I really knew how to make an animated film. What was hard was, how do you how much reference do you put in the opening so that you can tell the story? You know, that was what was hard. And I just tried to heap it all in there. In fact, sometimes I call it the opening of the movie is a can of condensed Disney. You know, it's like a can of Campbell's soup, just all that Disney, just pour it out in that first 8 minutes so that the audience understands all the touchstones.
One of my favorite sequences is the one where she invites all these New York animals to come and clean the apartment. Yeah, yeah. What was that like to shoot, and whose genius idea was that to kind of...
I'm so glad you said genius, because it was my idea. I read the script, and there was the general structure of a princess who comes to life, and I wanted to bring in much more homage to the Disney movies. Now, there were animals in the beginning, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun if we kind of flop it in the real world? And so we came up with this idea of doing a song like Whistle While You Work, in which instead of getting, you know, fuzzy little bunnies and squirrels, she gets rats and pigeons and cockroaches. So what I did was I really approached that part of the movie as I would an animated film. I storyboarded the whole thing. And then shot by shot, we broke it down. I worked with the animal trainers, and we figured out what animals could do and what we'd have to do with computer-generated animals, because, of course, you can't get a rat to scrub the toilet. So we just figured it out piece by piece and put it together like an animated piece.